Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you on today, on this beautiful day that God has made. I would like to use for a topic this morning that your trials are just for a moment. Psalms 30 and 5 says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning." 2 Corinthians 4 and 17 says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and external weight of glory." John 16:20 through 22 says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye shall lament, but the world shall rejoice. And ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned to joy. A woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembereth no more the anguish. For joy that a man is born into the world. And yes, now therefore, have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man taketh from you." You know, Job had everything, a family, a good name, and plenty of wealth. But Satan went to God and asked for his permission to change this. And yes, God allowed it, and Job lost everything that he had. He had to repent, and God allowed him to overcome that situation. David was the anointed king of Israel and chosen by God, but he was tormented by King Saul, who was jealous of him, trying to kill him. He became very frustrated with always having to run and hide, living in caves and surviving on whatever food his men or himself could find. You know, David had every opportunity to kill Saul, but he didn't because he had a good heart. Through every struggle that he went through, he came out rejoicing with his hands up, victoriously praising God. God brought him out every time. I would like to encourage everyone out there just to let you know that it doesn't matter your situation, God is able to bring you through it. There is no sickness that he can't heal. There is no financial difficulty that he can't bring you through. There is no emotional pain or hurt that he can't rescue you from. It is very important to understand that God's love for you surpasses the love of anyone you've ever encountered. He doesn't want to see you hurting. He doesn't want to see you depressed. He doesn't want you sick. In Isaiah 53 and 5, it says, "But he was wounded for our transgressions, and he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed." You know, we must come to the terms with the truth that God has a plan for us. He knows about everything that we have to handle. We just have to trust him and have faith that he can do it. John 11 and 40 says, "Then Jesus said, Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" Mark 9:23 says, "Jesus said, everything is possible for one who believes." In 1 John, it also says, "For everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that has overcome the world, even our faith." God never said that we would not go through trials. James 1 and 3 says, "Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. You are equipped to handle everything the enemy throws your way." He may be bigger, stronger, so we think, and sometimes even wiser, to us. But we have to remember that God is our strength. God is the one who protects us and gives us strength to make it through these situations. And he says in Isaiah 41 and 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold you up with my righteous right hand." When you feel like crying, it's okay, cry, but just know that God is there to wipe your tears. When you feel like giving up, remember that in Isaiah 40 and 31, it says, "But they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." You know, one of my favorite singers, Whitney Houston, sang a song that says, "When you're down and in despair, don't be uneasy because he'll be there. Don't you worry, don't you fret, because the Lord has never failed you yet. Then it goes on to say, my favorite part, hold on, help is on the way. And it says it again, hold on, help is on the way. You know, I thought about a few celebrities who actually went through trials and now they are well known throughout the world. The first person I thought of was Halle Berry. In her early 20s, you know, she lived in a homeless shelter. Look where she is today. God brought her out. Jim Carrey lived in a camper van in front of his sister's house, but he was able to overcome that situation. Daniel Craig, better known as James Bond, slept on park benches, homeless, but he's now known as James Bond. Steve Harvey lived in a 1976 Ford Tempo for 3 years before his big break. And now look at him. He's an overcomer. But don't you know that if God brought them out, he will do the same thing for you? As I move towards my closing, I want to encourage you that are worried and stressed about things that you're watching on the news with all the danger in the land. When you think of COVID-19 and, you know, Russia versus Ukraine, drugs, killing, homelessness, I just want to remind you that God is still in control. In 2 Corinthians 10:4 it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have the divine powers to destroy strongholds. Now it is time to pray like never before. And, you know, that's how we fight. Keep trusting and keep believing. And remember that these trials are just for a moment.